Okay, so we know the World Cup is going well in Canada. I mean, there's celebrations everywhere. And bars and restaurants across the country are cashing in. Well, somebody's got to cash in. I mean, we're not getting any lasting infrastructure from FIFA. But I have to admit, it is nice to see Granville Street filled with people. And not looking like a scene from The Last of Us. But it's not all celebrations everywhere. Because I have a report here from the New York Times. And some cities and countries, they're doing well. But others, not so well. A few cities in this report say that New York, as well as Seattle, they're still underperforming when it comes to hotel booking. Ah, can you stop knocking things over? Sorry about that. What I was saying is, I've lost my train of thought. What I was saying, yeah, okay. New York and Seattle are still underperforming despite having the biggest event in the world. And for Seattle and New York, you would think that they would be busy. But why are they not busy? Well, we obviously know why. I mean, this is a big part of it right here. But it's also because the Europeans have not flocked to the United States like they would for any other World Cup. Sure, there are diehard fans that have traveled to the United States and Canada and Mexico, but you're not getting the volume that you normally would. So I want to get into this report from the New York Times and actually show what's going on besides the celebrations. And it's titled, Empty Rooms and Plunging Prices. World Cup Tourism is Off to a Slow Start. Now, this article was created on June 19th, so it's not that old. And in my opinion, everything is still relevant. Now, for those just listening and the visually impaired, I'll read this one out for everyone. Julie Rahaman nearly ditched her plans to see the World Cup. The 34-year-old accountant from Alberta had purchased tickets in October for a game in Vancouver, British Columbia on June 26, Belgium versus New Zealand. But when she went to book a hotel, she was priced out. Rooms were as much as 1,400 Canadian dollars, or about 1,000 per night. It gets to a point where it just feels ridiculous, said Ms. Rahaman, who briefly considered bunking in a dorm. Instead, she gave up in April and listed her tickets for sale. Then, before the tickets sold, hotel prices started dropping. In May, she booked a room at the Best Western for about $285. Wow, that's still expensive if you ask me. For a Best Western? Seriously. Eventually, she canceled the reservation and booked a room similar rate at a 5-star Fairmont hotel. Now, if she was able to get the Fairmont hotel for $285, that's a steal if you ask me. Because right now, I just spot checked the Fairmont hotel in Vancouver and it's about $600 a night. But just wait till later, there's another guy that booked a hotel for about $1,000. And the price dropped dramatically. And the Marriott, they said too bad. I'll talk about that one in a bit. Ms. Rahaman's good fortune, plummeting hotel prices, may have hinted at a major setback for the tournament's host cities. FIFA anticipated more than 6 million fans this summer, estimating that the tournament, with 104 games spread across 16 cities in 3 countries, could generate a global economic impact of $80 billion. Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, said last year the world would stand still for the tournament, which he likened to 104 Super Bowls in a single month. But in recent months, the expectation has steadily eroded. Now, the tournament underway, hospitality leaders report a mixture, with some saying that the promised windfall had become more disappointing reality. Tracking the numbers, in some host cities, including New York, Toronto, and Miami, the hotel number of bookings on match days is lower than the numbers from a year ago, according to CoStar, a real estate analytics company. Now, a question I would ask for these host cities, New York, Toronto, and Miami, would you rather have this year's World Cup and less hotel bookings, or no World Cup and just regular bookings, just like any other summer? I know some hotel owners are probably regretting it, and if they say they aren't, they're just lying to themselves. Hoping to capitalize on the World Cup demand, hotels significantly inflated prices this year, with nightly rates as much as 500% above average. But the prices across host cities have steadily declined from their peaks, with the largest drops in Vancouver and Monterrey, Mexico, according to the ticket tracker Lighthouse Intelligence. In Vancouver, for example, the rates this summer are comparable to rates last year, aside from the 100 to 200 spikes on match days. Even though it's my hometown in Vancouver, I have no sympathy for the hotels. I mean, they got greedy. I remember seeing the Kingston Hotel in Vancouver. If you're from Vancouver, you probably know where the Kingston Hotel is. It's kind of a dump. And they were listing their rooms for like $800 or $900. So yeah, I don't have much sympathy for them. Anyways, back to the article. Some travelers like Miss Rahaman have repeatedly canceled and rebooked at lower rates to save money. Others, stuck with higher non-refundable rates, now feel bitter. International travel numbers look disappointing too. FIFA had estimated 40% of the World Cup visitors would be international travelers. But flight bookings made before June from the European Union to most host cities during the tournament months of June and July had dropped compared to last year. According to the aviation data firm Serum, bookings for flights to Kennedy Airport in New York were down more than 15% year over year. For San Francisco International Airport, bookings were down nearly 10%. Jan Freitag, I'll go with Jan Freitag, CoStar National Director of Hospitality Analytics, said that the tourism outlook was still calibrating. Adding that across all host cities, it would still be a better summer for hotels than last year was. I don't know about that. I don't know. What does everybody else think? Because World Cup ends like what? End of July. Then you still have summer. Maybe people stay later. I don't know. But what I do know is that from June to July, they're losing a lot of bookings that they would have normally had. Let me know in the comments below what you think of his calibrating comment. Moving on, Kansas City has seen the kind of tourism bump that most cities expected, with hotels reporting 32% growth in bookings compared to this time last year, across all 6 match periods, according to the data at Visit Kansas City, a nonprofit economic development organization. Now, I don't mean to judge Kansas City, but it's not really a place I would ever consider going to. I mean, during any other regular summer. I don't know, that's just me. Short-term rentals, which have flooded the market since the city's eased permitting fees for the games, have also doubled their revenue projections, the nonprofit said. Kansas City rentals have sold 44% more nights around game days than the time last year, according to AirDNA, a marketing research firm that specializes in short-term rentals. When Argentina and Algeria kicked off the city's first match on June 16th, metro hotels were either sold out or at 80 to 85% occupancy, said Andrea O'Hara, the executive director of the Hotel and Lodging Association of Greater Kansas City. Ms. O'Hara cited a few factors for Kansas' early success. It's generally an affordable destination compared to other host cities like Los Angeles and New York City, she said, and its location to the middle of the United States gives easier access to games across the country. It's also convenient for road trippers for numerous states, and it's probably also because Argentina was there. I don't know, my guess is that it has to do something with this guy and the reason why the hotels in Kansas City are booked. I don't know, just saying. Kansas City also has the luck of the draw on its side, hosting both a quarterfinal match and teams that draw large crowds, namely the Netherlands and Argentina, with its superstar Lionel Messi. Argentina origin bookings to Kansas City International Airport are up by about 2,143% compared with last year, according to Visit Kansas City. Even still, Ms. O'Hara said that the average length of visitor stays has been shorter than expected, and the visitation numbers dipped significantly between matches. Now, the fact that Argentina bookings to Kansas City are up 2,143%, and visitation dips significantly between matches, that tells me that they're not there to see Kansas City. They're there to see Lionel Messi. And it makes me wonder, if Kansas City didn't get the Argentina game, I don't think they would be boasting about their numbers, to be honest. In New York, the sentiment is decidedly gloomier. At the start of the World Cup, the Hotel Association of New York City halved its forecast for hotel revenue growth to $100 million. Vijay Danda Pani, the association's chief executive, called the tournament hugely disappointing and underwhelming. Ouch. FIFA estimated that the tournament would draw 1.2 million visitors to the New York City area. Mr. Danda Pani said that the city's hotel industry would be happy settling for 400,000 visitors, adding that the hotels are walking back earlier price increases that had been up 300% higher than the same price last year. Pricing during the tournaments are more aligned with typical June or July, he said. He cited several reasons for the muted demand, including rising costs, business travelers avoiding the city, tournament location in New Jersey, and continued barriers to the international travel. And don't forget your president. But then again, this is an article from New York Times, so I'm not expecting them to blame their own president. Alright, let's move on to Seattle. Seattle is also facing disappointing numbers, with bookings below those of last year across flights, short-term rentals, and hotels, according to industry data. FIFA has also canceled up to 70% room blocks for staff and delegates in several host cities, including Boston, Dallas, Kansas City, LA, Philadelphia, and Seattle, according to the American Hotel and Lodging Association. While the Hotel Association said room releases were typical with events of this scale, they said the number of rooms released by FIFA was surprising. The room blocks added to an artificial early demand signal, according to a report published in May by the AHLA. FIFA did not respond to the request for comments. Okay, let's be real here. Is anybody listening to my video right now surprised that FIFA gave up that many rooms? Because I'm not surprised at all. I mean, when it was announced that they gave up the rooms, it wasn't a shock to me. I mean, with the current political status of the United States, the issues going into their country, ICE, CBP, everything that I've been reporting on my channel, I don't understand how this American Hotel and Lodging Association was so surprised. I mean, I'm not even in the industry, and I could put two and two together and say that this would have been a bust. I remember one of the first FIFA World Cup videos I did, probably back in March or even April. I was late to the party. I remember seeing a report saying that flights from Europe to the United States are down compared to last year, which is very odd when you're hosting the biggest sporting event in the world. Combine that with high hotel prices, high ticket prices, and people getting their visas and ESTAs canceled last minute. How could they not see this happen? If you ask me, it's a little bit of arrogance. I think the United States still feels that their soft power is strong, and that no matter what, people will still flock to their country. Well, this World Cup, I think it proves that there's a big shift happening right now. This is just my opinion. I mean, let me know in the comments if you agree with me or not. I mean, I'm not an expert in this. I can kind of see the writing on the wall. I just get annoyed when the United States thinks, oh, well, we didn't expect this to happen. We don't know why. Anyways, let's keep moving. Hospitality leaders are still expecting for last-minute surge. Hotels are optimistic that travelers are still finalizing plans for later stage matches, said Rosanna Mayata, the chief executive at AHLA. Other industries experts say that travelers are booking later for shorter stays than predicted. There's a big difference between optimistic and realistic, and I don't think they're being realistic. Many travelers are capitalizing on the lower than expected demand. Kenneth Walden, 50, an IT professional from Austin, Texas, is taking 3 trips to see group stage games in Houston. When he booked his refundable room in late February, Mr. Walden said the price at the Hilton at the Marriott was about $600 per night, about double the usual rate. In April, it had fallen. He rebooked his room and saved about $650. Mr. Walden is smart. He booked a refundable room. But this next person I'm going to talk about did not. But others are reeling from the cost. Tom Boyer, 57, a healthcare consultant from California, booked a non-refundable Marriott room in early April for his family of 4 to see the World Cup games in Vancouver. His 2 young sons, whose closets are stuffed with soccer jerseys from Manchester City to Arsenal, were ecstatic. Mr. Boyer booked the room after he saw a race drop to about $640 per night, down from about $920. Demand shouldn't drop much further, he thought. Earlier this month, Mr. Boyer said that he noticed a serious erosion of rates. He called the hotel and the Marriott's corporate office upwards of 10 times, seeking to bridge the gap between the new and lower rate, and at the rate that he had booked. Mr. Boyer said, no luck. I would advise the soccer overlords to seriously consider what they're doing to fans with these ticket and hotel pricing practices, Mr. Boyer said. This game is supposed to bring people together. These types of practices don't. Well, Mr. Boyer, good luck getting the soccer overlords to change their stance on this. I mean, they're cashing in. They don't care about you. And one thing to learn from your story, if there's an event like this where things are drastically overpriced, always book a refundable hotel price. I mean, yeah, it costs a little bit more, but it doesn't take a genius to know that the prices would have went down. I mean, when a 2 or 3 star hotel is charging like $1,000 a night, nobody's going to book it, and eventually it's going to come down. So unfortunately for Mr. Boyer, I mean, this was kind of your own fault. So I guess my message on this video is that, yeah, we're going to see a lot of celebration videos on YouTube, and videos that make everything appear great. I've always said the World Cup is going to be a success. I mean, there's going to be a team that wins. There's going to be people celebrating. But it doesn't discount the fact that there are still underlying problems. The high ticket prices, the hotels not being booked, the visas and ESTAs being canceled. They're most likely still happening, it's just not being reported. I mean, I'm sure that Infantino, as well as Taco Tuesday, has told the media, chill down on that stuff for a bit. But I, for one, am not going to let it slide. So if I find anything, I'll report it to the GTL community. It's a given that hotels will start to get bookings when it gets closer to the finals. But the biggest question is, how much better could it have been if it wasn't for these 2 guys and FIFA being greedy as fuck? Let me know your thoughts and comments on this below. To close off this video, I would like to thank Snowbot from our Discord server for posting this photo of the Vancouver International Airport in British Columbia. This is the photo of the Jade Canoe that's outside the international departures. And next time I'm back home in Vancouver, I'll take more photos of the airport. But I want to thank you, Snowbot, for sharing this with the community and posting it in the Discord server. Now, I just want to take this time to update the GTL community who are still here. I mean, if you're still watching, I really appreciate you watching to the end. But I did a video a little while ago, a walk and talk video, talking about how my audience is actually changing. When I started this channel, I think it was about 90% Canadians and 10% international. Now, it's about 46% Canadian, and the balance is international. My audience has changed. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Because we're seeing a lot more comments from people around the world, which is great. But it also means that I do want to cover more things. Not things that are just specific to Canada. I'm not going to stop reporting on Canada. I mean, it's my country, and it helps keep me connected to my home. But what fascinates me these days is how the rest of the world is handling the current political issues, whether it's Australia, or Germany, or Sweden, or UK, or even Asia. For me, it completes a sense of solidarity, making sure that Canadians realize that, hey, we're not alone in this. But it also makes me happy to see comments from the international community, letting me know that they appreciate me including their country and their news in my videos. So while I am a Canadian content creator, that still sounds weird, I can't believe I'm a Canadian content creator, I will still report on things back home. That's a given. But I am going to start to report on global news that's happening around the world, specifically on things that we can all relate to. And I also want to do more interviews, like the one I did with Evan from TriArt Manufacturing. I just have to find them and make sure they're the right companies I want to feature on my channel. So yeah, this is just a quick update on, what I'm thinking right now. And I had a lot of time over the weekend, because I took the weekend off, and I just wanted to share some thoughts that I had with the community. Alright, that's it for this video. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you want to hear more from a Canadian and international point of view, without the US media bias, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below. That way you'll be notified of my future videos. And don't forget to hit the bell icon and select all as well. Now, if you want to see more of my videos, check out the ones that are going to show up on your screen shortly. Thanks everyone, I'll catch you in the next one.